Hey guys, Taylor May and Annie Kim with Fit People.
I'm Annie Mae.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's go.
Got like corn, popcorn in my teeth. It doesn't turn up anymore. That doesn't turn up anymore. Huh?
Hey guys, it's Taylor May and Annie May with Fit People. Today we are going to talk a little bit about what success looks like and really around our assessments. Now there's plenty of ways to be successful when you try to become healthier, but today we're going to talk and highlight some of the success stories and what really success kind of looks like and what kind of falling down looks like with body comp, because as the healthier you are, typically the leaner you are, the more unhealthy you are, typically the more body fat that you have. So we're going to talk a little bit, show some examples, and talk a little bit about these individuals that we're highlighting.
Mainly just like what it takes to be successful.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So the reason why we started this was because we had a conversation this week kind of talking about patience, and after someone had done assessment, just wanting things to be moving a little bit faster. And it kind of got Taylor like pulling up certain body comps from the past and just showing like, what success looked like on a range of like, it's not short term, it's not like a downward slope, but it's more of, where people, it's a slow, gradual process, and then sometimes there's just slow uptick. And
more like a staircase, like complacency kind of sets in, but really, in a world that we live in of fast results and everything, and everybody wants it quick, and I get it. Like I understand, like when you order something from Amazon, you want it the next day, like you're ready for it. But really what success looks like in the fitness world is that, it kind of looks like a staircase. Like there is some retraction. You're not always going to be a rock star. Nick Saban had a really good quote. Says a lot of people there's a ton of people that write books on how to get to the top, but there's very few people that write books on how to stay there. So sustaining that. And really what makes people successful and they're able to sustain that, like if you're only a rock star a couple of times of the year, is just being consistent. So like really there's four things that successful people do. They're self-aware. Okay, I'm a product of my actions, right? There's about 80% that I can change throughout my life. I'm a product of 80% of my actions, 20% kind of genetics. We now know that. The second thing is you got to work hard. Obviously, the work's got to be put in. The third thing is that you have to be patient, right? So I can't expect, it took me 42 years to get to where I'm at right now. If I want to change my body, it's not going to happen in 6 weeks. I just have to be patient, and the tortoise always wins the race, and that's part of the consistency. That's number 4. So consistency is you have to stay at it. And we'll show some of these examples, but some people, when they start and then they stop, it's not going to get easier when you start again from zero. But the people that get rewarded, you can only be like I said, rock star a couple of times a year. The people that get rewarded are people that maintain that platform, that keep moving forward. Yeah, they might fall down, but they keep moving forward. So when they're ready to be a rock star, they can use that platform as a launching pad, and they don't have to come back in and almost start from zero and build it back up. And
it's always harder to start over.
It's always harder.
Or to get started again. And a lot of times it's because you know what that hard work looks like. You know what it feels like, and it just kind of delays the process because it's just harder to jump back in.
And I think a really good quote is, it's easier to stay in shape than it is to get in shape. So if you are in shape, you never have to get in shape. And that's what we really want to preach, is that like health and fit is a process, but it's a process that has to be worked on. The man has to be paid day in and day out, whether it's nutrition, whether it's sleep, whether it's stress management, whether it's just showing up at the gym, like you have to put in the work to change. So we're going to go through some couple of examples. The first example that we're going to go through, we're not going to name names, but this is a person that has started with us 6 years ago. Took a big time, took a lot of time off because life kind of got in the way and everything. But as you can see, she came in. She's done a little bit, of work before, but you see the steady, slow descent of her body composition, and you can see she stopped around 2016 and then decided to come back, and you can kind of see like she's worse off, like we were talking about, like the starting. Every time you have these stop gaps, the worse off you become. It's harder to become, and so when you watch people do these fad diets or these fad exercise programs and they go extreme, they never work because they're hard to sustain. So each time that you have these stop gaps, it's going to be harder to gain it back the next time. It's not impossible. She's going to be able to do it, but
yeah, you probably shouldn't say she either.
Oh yeah, sorry. That person is a she, so, obviously. So this next person, you can see, I think has been with us since 2018. Started with us, kind of wasn't really involved in the fitness world really, so it was kind of new to them. But they started out and they had a little uptick, but you can see a gradual decrease like over time. So this is a 4-year process. And sometimes it ticks up a little bit and sometimes you can see it falls, kind of like a staircase. But the main thing that we want is that starting point and that end point where we currently are to be a linear drop, right? So this is a very good person of establishing patience and consistency that stuck with it. There was no real stop.
I think it's a process too, like mentally, because like again, we live in that fast, quick fix like mindset, or we order something and it's going to be here tomorrow or in 2 days. So it takes time too, like being able to, on those upticks when you're on that process of going down, being able to, like see it for what it is and not think it's, a fault in your character or, beating yourself up about the results, but honestly just like looking at it and again self-awareness and knowing, like looking back at what you've been doing and the process that it's taken to get you to where you are, and then to continue to go to keep moving forward.
Right. The tortoise always wins this race. And it seems like this process that the results come slow, but I promise you, if you stick with it, once you get there or get further down the road, it's going to seem like it didn't take no time at all compared to where you were. This next person came to us. They were really had done nothing before. And you see, so sometimes when it appears to be a bigger result when somebody first starts. They're really excited, right? And you see this a lot in January 1. People are really excited, real motivated. So you see a big fall off, and then again, there's a little bit of the complacency sets in. So some of if you go all in, the harder you go in, there's going to be a little bit of retraction. That happens with anything, with a diet, with any type of fitness program. But this person kind of got back on track and kept moving, kind of stayed stagnant for a while, and then there was a little bit of change. Okay, so I'm stagnant, so let's add a little bit more, and then you start to see, again, it's like a staircase, like it'll level off and then fall and level off. But I think this person had been with us for 2 years. This is over a 2-year time period.
Yeah, and I think in the beginning too, there was a bigger change right off the bat because there's more to lose, but then also it was something so completely different and new. So they saw change quick, but then had a little retraction and a plateau because, just trying things or trying to kind of get, like Taylor said, getting complacent, and then, we had to kind of figure out the right amount of days to work out and process and everything like that.
Right, but again, we see the starting point and we see the end point where it's at, and there's a linear drop, so that's a good thing. This next person, this is really this is a normal success story too. This person was already an athlete coming in and was already practicing, was already participating in their fitness. And so they weren't bad off. They were, like I said, they were an athlete. So
Just
they
currently active and like staying
currently
active throughout
right.
their life.
And they've stayed active pretty much their whole life. And as you can see, the body composition is good, and it's a healthy body composition. But this person wanted a little bit more, wanted to know kind of where they stood. They wanted a little bit more than what they had. But you can see this. It's linear. Again, from our starting point to our end point, we're better, right? But you see the struggles. You see life come in. You see complacency come in. You see the drop, and then it kind of gets overwhelming, or you get complacent, and you kind of get comfortable. And when you get comfortable, like things start to retract, and that's why it's important to kind of assess and reassess and keep assessing. Going forward, and to be able to see like have I fallen off, how much have I fallen off, how can I correct it, and that's what we do at Fit People. But
I think what's important to like realize too is like it looks like a big up and down, but the point mainly, and this is kind of what sparked this conversation, is that at 9.5% or 10%, this person didn't just, this person kind of settled a little bit and they rose back up and then eventually got back up to 17%. But then you see like after 17%, like that's not where they want to be. So they took the numbers and they, again, self-awareness, like figured out what they needed to do to get back to where they wanted to be and then kept moving. And that's kind of the point. It's success isn't just getting to the point. It's not getting the results that you want and then settling. It's, turning and changing whatever you're doing if it's not working to continue to move and get closer to your goals too.
Yeah, and it's just, we get it. Life gets in the way, and things happen, and
Cannot be a rock star all the time.
Cannot be a rock star all the time. But the main thing again is just to keep moving forward, because once you stop, it's going to be a lot harder when you have those stop gaps to reestablish where you were. You have to build that platform back up and then go again. Mm-hmm. This next individual, this is over a 6-year period, and this person was an ex-athlete, kind of had fallen off a little bit and needed a little bit more accountability. But again, what are we looking at? We're looking at starting point and end point. And today we're using a lot of people that have been with us for a long period of time and trying to kind of, we do have a lot of success stories, a lot of examples that we can use. But this is another good example of the staircase, what's happening. There's a big, drop, and then there's a level off, and there's a big drop. I'm a rock star, and then there's person gets comfortable, they settle in, and then there's, okay, I need to fix this, and then coming back up, and then going back down again, then come back up again. And, a lot of people don't want to assess. They understand that it's going to be bad. It's like going to the doctor. I don't want to go to the doctor because I'm afraid something's bad, but just not going to the doctor doesn't mean nothing's wrong. So this person had needed to see it, because look at the last 4. Like if we need to stop this trend upward, and so by seeing it now we can make the adjustments. Some people don't want to see it, but everybody needs to see it. You need to see the results, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to fix it. So again, the success isn't it's all in all shapes and forms, but the people that win this game are the people that are self-aware. I am a byproduct of my actions, at least 80% of it, 20% genetic, right? The second thing is that you got to put in the work. You got to come in. You got to work hard. You can't be 100% every day, but if you're 70%, let's get all of that, right? And the third thing is that you have to be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. That's just not how it works. Success rewards in this game the people that are the most patient, like that are willing to outwait. The tortoise wins this race. And then the fourth thing is consistency. You just have to stay consistent. Consistent patience, hard work, and self-awareness. You have to kind of focus in on those and not really let yourself get down. When you do fall off, you can't look at that as like, crap, I quit. Because what happens to most people is they'll come out of the gates really hot in January, and they make big results, and they're going really hard where you can't sustain that. And then when they have a bad result, when they have that retraction, when that void is filled with a little bit of negativity, they're like, crap, whatever, it's going to take forever. Like, I can't sustain this, and then they give up, and then you have those stop gaps. It's okay to come out hot. It's okay to come out energetic, but just understand the harder you come, the faster those results, there's going to be a little bit of retraction, and you have to be self-aware of that. You keep moving forward to understand that if I can't have stop gaps in here, I got to keep moving forward. If I fall down, I got to pick myself up, and I got to keep going forward. So that's really the basic message that we talked about today. We use body composition, but success is many forms when it comes to health. We test muscular endurance, muscular strength, we test body composition, cardiorespiratory fitness, range of motion, things like that. So there's all kinds of success, and people have different goals, and everybody's at a different genetic potential. So that's what we used our assessments, submaximal and maximal, kind of target that and wrench down on it and help people become better versions of themselves. Anything else, Steve? Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, we're going to start putting out YouTube videos every now and then. Just go in there and tell us if you like it. If you don't like it, we want to see more of. But thank you, and